Moviesucktastic is a podcast about bad movies and the people that love them. But it's more than just a podcast, it's also an online presence. If you want to know more about Moviesucktastic or want to become a part of Moviesucktastic, you can find us on Facebook, you can find us on Twitter at Moviesucktastic, you can find our blog at boothreviews.blogspot.com, or if you want to give your own reviews that we might use on the show, you can go to reviews.moviesucktastic.com and check out our own little lunch.com community for Moviesucktastic. Check us out and become a part of the show, because the only thing more fun than a bad movie is sharing it.
Dearest Queen, how goes the kingdom?
They were all staring, weren't they? And I heard the word fat. Fat.
The Favorite is a crowning achievement.
You have become close to Abigail.
You're jealous.
Led by three fantastic actresses at the height of their powers.
I'm on my side. Always.
You are enjoying all of this, aren't you?
Oh, it is fun to be queen sometimes.
It's a perfectly cut diamond of a movie.
I love a comedy. Is there cake?
The Favorite, rated R, in select theaters November 23rd.
You are listening to Moviesucktastic.
Dude, no! Oh!
Hey there.
Hello!
Thank you for joining me so we can entertain everybody this week.
And welcome everybody to Moviesucktastic.
Oh yeah, baby.
And I'm on my second bottle of wine because I'm out of gin, so let's rock this bitch. Yes, this is episode 5 of our Oscar sweep, reviewing all the Oscars that are up for Best Picture this year.
That's right.
A decent collection. And
Not
is
bad.
episode... What?
Not bad. This is going to be episode 294.
Yes.
Getting closer to that episode 300, that milestone.
Yes, and I think the perfect wine to go with an Oscar nominee episode is a nice Trader Joe's White Zinfandel, which I believe was $2.99.
$3 chuck. $3
chuck. You can't beat that.
Can't beat it. I
love Texas.
I actually like Trader Joe wine.
Well, I never had it until I moved down here. So,
dude, we got Trader Joe's all over Jersey.
No, we didn't. Not
where you live, but they're everywhere.
Not where I live.
You know what's funny? I had another friend that moved to a southern state, calls me up, and he's like, "Man, you're never gonna believe this." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "I got, blah 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 at the blah blah blah," and I'm like, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, Trader Joe's. It's a little piece of southern heaven." I'm like, "Dude, we got them all over Jersey." He's like, "What?"
Yeah, they're really.
He's like,
really
"No,
not.
you don't." And I'm like, "Well, he grew up in like South Jersey, right? Like down the
there's
the
none
shore.
around. Yeah, you're talking about like up New York State area.
No,
toward
dude,
North Jersey.
Dude, I have one 10 minutes from my house.
Yeah, because you're you're like like an hour drive from the city. That's North Jersey.
I'm less than, but still, I'm less than an hour from the state of New York, and I'm about
exactly
25 minutes from New York City.
Yeah, for us guys like on the border of Pennsylvania and south of that, no, there's no Trader Joe's down there.
Yeah, but my point is, everyone keeps telling us like, "Oh, Trader Joe's," and I'm like, "What? Why?" I was like, I feel bad that you've discovered all this now.
Didn't discover it. It was never within driving range until now.
I've never had.
I had to move to Texas to be close to one.
I've never had one bad thing at Trader Joe's.
Well, all we really buy is the cheap wine. and
You
some
know
snacks. So
okay, I know we're reviewing a film, but you know what's good there? The
What?
General Tso's chicken that they have.
dude, it's like a Wegmans for stoners.
Yeah, it really is.
That's really the only way to put it. It's like
Although-
I just can't. I can imagine going in there high and spending like $300.
But I will say this: the one store that I've found that I really enjoy,
Not that I've ever been high, mind you.
never ever,
Never.
is Aldi's.
Aldi's?
Aldi's, tomato,
Aldi's.
tomato,
ALDI.
ALDI.
Yeah.
They're amazing. Their prices
yeah.
are amazing. I've never had one bad thing there either.
Yeah,
And-
we actually discovered them like a year away from when we moved down here, and there's Aldi's down here too. But
Oh, good.
honestly, the cost of living is a little lower down here, so price wise, we haven't really strayed away from like our Tom Thumbs or the occasional Kroger trip.
Oh, okay.
We even have like the good Tom Thumb.
I was there yesterday at Aldi's, and sure it's not Aldi's?
That's what I said. Aldi's. You're the one that's saying Aldi's.
Oh, okay, whatever. I don't know. I bought this fresh baked bread, where it looks like it's cooked halfway, and then you, the consumer, buy it, and you put it in the oven and cook it the rest of the way. And and it lasts like at least a week before it would go stale. And it was like, I think it was like $1.39. It's like ridiculous. If you go to this like ShopRite or Stop and Shop, it's like $3-4 for the same thing. And it's practically stale already. Anyway, but that's not what we're here to talk about.
Not at all.
Not at all. We're here to talk and review the film The Favorite, which is an Oscar-nominated film for Best Picture.
Yes.
I believe it's also up for a bunch of other things.
Hang on, let me bring down my list.
Cinematography.
Yeah. Hang on. Well, actually,
Costume.
I've got IMDb open right in front of me, so I could have just opened up that list, but
Yeah.
whatever.
Well,
But I got my official list. You know, the marking off. Oh, I haven't even marked off the stuff I already watched yet.
It's nominated
Where's
for 10 Oscars.
Do I not have a highlighter here? Oh no, 10 Oscars.
10 Oscars.
Well, all right. This is what you call an Oscar triple threat, and by that I mean this film is a period piece.
Oh, yeah.
It is a historical, based on a historical as a dramatization of historical events. Let's put it that way.
Right.
And there's plenty of lesbian sex in it, so it's a triple threat for Oscars. It's really just you gotta it's that it's going to get a bunch. Now I saw the trailer. I was watching trailers with my wife, and what I mean by watching trailers with her, she was sitting there playing on her phone while I watched trailers because she doesn't enjoy them like I do.
Yeah.
And I played this one like a month or two ago, and I was like, "Oh, I gotta see that." And she's like, "You don't like that kind of film." I was like, "Yeah, but this one seems cool."
Here's the thing. The trailer that I saw made it come off more, I thought, like a comedy.
Well, and that seems to be par for the course. I mean, you had the same feeling about Black Klansman.
Yes, I did.
And they're going to do that. They're going to highlight that part.
Well, I
definitely.
think it's kind of cheating a bit because
It is.
This film does have some comedic elements to it, but it is for the most part a drama.
I'd say 70-30.
Yeah,
60-40.
No, I'd say 7. I think you were right, more right with the first 70-30, and that for the most part, that's 30%.
Well, don't forget
that's
a
pretty
lot
low
of it
for what
a
the
lot of it is
trailer
that-
gives.
Well, a lot of it is that dry British humor.
Even so, I love dry British humor, and the trailer really has it come off like it's gonna be way more funny, like it's like a comedy, not a full-out comedy, but it just they made it seem like it was gonna be something a little different. Now
the big thing for me as far as Oscar nominations go is this one's up for 2 supporting actress roles.
Yes.
Emma Stone and Rachel Weisz.
Yes, and Best Actress, so all 3 are nominated.
Now,
Which, by the way, I'm calling it now that Olivia Colman, who plays the Queen,
Yeah.
she's a fucking lock. There's no one beating her. She is winning Best Actress for this.
And you know what? Like, it's like I recognized her when I saw her in the trailer, and when I looked at her credits, the one thing I was like, all right, I know this is where I recognize her from is Hot Fuzz. She was she was like the dirty cop, the one that kept making like
that's right.
sexual innuendos.
Yes, but that's not who I thought she was when I first saw her. You know who I thought she was? Okay, do you know who I thought she was when I first saw her? I'm watching
that's why I asked you.
Yeah, okay, eat me. I'm watching it, and then when the movie ends, and they have that one shot of her, I'm like, I was like, I think she is the actress from the movie Threads. And I was,
what?
Yeah, dude. Seriously. You don't think so?
And was she?
No.
Okay.
No. But I'm looking at her, and I'm like, this is the chick from Threads. I'm like, I really believed it.
Now, now when I look back further, though, also, if you're into British sitcoms like I am, she's more recognizable because she was in an episode of Black Books.
Oh, okay.
You know, things like that. So she's been around.
She's been around
but yeah,
for a while.
She wasn't. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, she is absolutely winning Best Actress. No doubt.
You think so?
No doubt in my mind. If there's anybody else that may win, it could be Glenn Close, because she's been nominated so many times in the Best Actress category in the last 6 years, and has lost. I think this is her third nomination for Best Actress in the last 5-6 years, and they might finally give it to her.
You know what? I stumbled
think
upon
so.
this article on Huffington Post, and I was like, oh, this is... And I remember I was reading through it, and I was like, wow, I love the Oscars because all film critics become really bitchy. and this one was basically saying that the Oscars are in death throes, not because of everything else going on, but because Rami Malek and Glenn Close were nominated.
Oh, jeez, really?
And apparently those two are like just huge insults to like everybody else that's ever acted. All right, shut up. It's like it was just really just like a 5-paragraph bitch fest about how they didn't deserve to be nominated, and if they win, it's like the death knell for the Oscars. It says because people didn't deserve Oscars and never won Oscars before. Shut up, man.
I'm actually throwing up the picture of the girl from Threads, and there's
you.
I'm looking at it right here. This chick right here looks just like Olivia Colman. I mean, there she is. Okay, she's on the screen. All right. Then you got Olivia Colman from The Favorite, which I'll put up on the screen. Look, there's Olivia Colman. They're the wrong age, and that's why it threw me off. But she looks so old. They made her look so old because she's sick in The Favorite, that I was like, wow, that might be the chick from Threads. And I was like, that's got to be her. And it turned out that it wasn't, obviously. But believe me, she's got a doppelganger, and it's the chick from Threads.
So besides the chick from Threads, you got Olivia Colman as Queen Anne. Then you have Rachel Weisz and Emma Stone as Lady Sarah and Abigail.
Right.
Now, this is one of those films where, as I'm watching it, I'm not into history. So, like I'm like Wikipediaing it and just like reading the history, like to see what's actually lines up with the film while I'm watching the film.
I didn't have to do that because Mare is a history major.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
So she was doing a little bit too. She goes, wait a minute, hold on. I think I remember something, blah, blah, blah. And then she'd look at it, yeah, I'm right. It's like, okay, great.
I don't have a fucking clue. So I was intrigued. Yeah, and I'm reading through it. It's again, it's an interpretation and obviously not historically accurate as far as like just they moved. Again, it's a dramatization. Everybody fucking chill. So they move things around and they ignore some things, but it's all basically roughly based on true story, like historical fact, with a lot of stuff filled in between. And it's really this like lover's triangle or power struggle between Queen Anne and these two servants, so to speak. Rachel Weisz is less of a servant and more like a keeper of the house.
Lady
but
of the house.
I mean, everyone's a servant under the queen. So let's just call it a couple of servants.
Yeah. Can I admit something here? That I fell asleep twice.
You got turned on, didn't you?
I fell asleep twice trying to watch this. Not because I found it boring, but I guess because of the music. I don't know.
Very basic music. Very like boom, ting, boom,
yes,
ting.
And I don't know if that aided in me falling asleep twice.
Well, there are also. I mean, now this is the director. Yorgos Lanthimos, and I know I'm probably mangling that.
That's okay. He's used to it.
He did The Lobster.
I haven't seen that yet.
I have not either. I'm embarrassed to say that the two films I'm referencing I haven't actually watched yet. And after watching this film, I'm angry with myself, and I need to try to make time in between Oscar films to watch these two, because The Lobster, and I have both of them on my Plex. Lobster, and then the Sacrifice of a Sacred Deer. I'm sure I'm mangling that a little bit.
That's the other one.
What?
That's the other film that he did.
Yes.
Yeah.
The two films that are really like noteworthy.
And the thing about the Sacred Deer film is that was perceived to be in the position that the favorite is in at this year's Oscars last year, and it didn't get there. So now that this film of his is being recognized, I can see more of his films being noticed at Oscar time because of it. Because this film's been nominated for 10 Oscars. Should we go through the list real quick? I know we already did the 3 actresses.
If you have the list in front of you, go for it.
I do have the list in front of me. So it's nominated for, I'll go from the bottom up, film editing, which, you know what? Bohemian Rhapsody didn't deserve it. This film does. I know Bohemian Rhapsody won't win for it. This probably will. Cinematography, both supporting actress roles, Best Actress, directing, which is my theory of the 5 movies with Best Directors are the 5 movies that would be nominated for Best Picture had they kept 5 nominees. This would be one of them. Best Picture, of course. Costume design, of course. Period pieces always get these. I mean, unless you just do a really shitty job, you're getting nominated for an Oscar.
It's almost a no-brainer. Yeah,
absolutely.
And none, are any of the other? Hold on, let me look at it right now because I got my stuff in front of me. Are any of the other costume films that are up?
Do they
period
even have
pieces?
a chance?
Costume design: Ballad of Buster Craigs, Black Panther, Mary Poppins. Oh, Mary Queen of Scots.
Yeah, so you got 2 period pieces battling it out.
Yeah. And if they're not going to give Black Panther Best Picture, they might give it a bunch of other stuff. So that might actually trump the favorite just for social political reasons.
You know, I don't know. I don't know, man.
That's my cynical view.
No, I know.
I
get it. Production design, which again a no-brainer. Period piece.
Yeah. And
then finally, your category, original screenplay.
Right.
So,
and honestly, like I said, I'm not very thrilled with the screenplay categories this year. I honestly I've only seen Vice and The Favorite so far in there, but
what are the other ones nominated in there?
First Reformed, Green Book, and Roma.
Okay.
So again, four of the 5 are nominated for Best Picture too. So it's not a huge. It's not like a huge divergence in the category. I mean, you've seen some years where only like maybe 2 or 3 are actually Best Picture noms. This year, the only one that's not is First Reformed.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. That is true. So 10 nominations is nothing to sneeze at. That is a lot of nominations for a film.
Yeah,
specifically because all 3 actresses are nominated, which I can't even remember the last time that happened. You know, that's crazy.
And it's not up for any Razzies, but that's neither here nor there. So the basic plot is just
you know what? It's not a very complicated plot.
No, Queen Anne, and then she's got her right-hand woman, which is Lady Sarah.
Yeah.
And then one of Lady Sarah's cousins shows up and asks for a job,
Abigail,
and then
which is played by Emma Stone. Abigail. Her name is Abigail, played by Emma Stone.
I don't think I'm really a big Emma Stone person, although I thought she was great in Maniac.
I still haven't seen Maniac.
I do highly recommend it. I really enjoyed it. It's on my Plex, actually. Other than that, I mean, she was in La La Land, which I didn't care for, so that doesn't work for her.
She won her Oscar for.
Yeah.
I like Emma Stone. I don't go out of my way to see movies that she's in. I don't really care. But I thought she was exceptional in this.
You know what? It's just she's one of those actresses where it's one of those things where, and I may be being very sexist here, but you get a lot of these actresses where, okay, you're petite and you've got that facial structure, very defined features, and you're small and cute, so yeah, you're going to get in anywhere. Seriously, I feel bad for saying that, but I just like I'm there's part of that where I'm like, the only reason you're here is because you fit the type. And I'm not saying she was bad.
No.
Again, it might be very sexist to me. I might just have to self-flagellate later. But that
I can't, not that I feel the same way about Rachel Weisz. I thought Rachel Weisz was very good in this too. But
everybody was.
But the problem I had with her didn't have anything to do with her performance, but with the insane amount of Botox that she's gotten. That always takes me out of it, man. I hate that so much.
You know who I loved in this film, I'll be honest, is Nicholas Hoult, who played Harley.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking, it's like like two scenes with him. Yeah, 2 scenes with him, and I'm looking him up. I was like, I need to know this fucking guy. And I was like, oh, I don't recognize him from anything, really. He he was in Mad Max.
He was in Mad Max, and, he played the what's-his-face? He played, Mad Max played his body bag.
Yeah, exactly. And he's in X-Men. He plays the Beast in the X-Men films, which I'm not going to recognize him from. And he was in Warm Bodies, which I never got around to seeing.
That's actually pretty good. Jack the Giant Slayer, he's in that too. And he was dating Jennifer Lawrence for a while, which obviously he met on the X-Men films. Basically,
he's in a bunch of stuff that I'd never bothered watching. And then in this film, and I don't even think it has anything to do with him, but just he's one of those people that once you put him in like a powdered wig and the white makeup, he just fucking nails it.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I don't really care about him, but I enjoyed his performance in this film.
That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying. It's like I look at his past stuff, I'm like, whatever. But then in this film, this film made me want to watch Plunkett and McLean again. It really, and it's not even close to the same kind of film.
I wager they will climax together. Oh no, what was the exact line? I wager that they will climax at the same time. So fucking good. Oh man. I feel that if this was a challenge, either Threads or Plunkett and McLean would have happened from one of us. That's for sure. If I was challenging you off of this, there's no way I would not be challenging you to Threads. There's just no way.
Yeah. Now, this film has a lot going for it. From a set design standpoint, the big castles, a lot of the film plays the long scenes because they're really just showing you the surroundings.
But not for anything. Production
not
design,
for anything?
No, not for anything. Production design isn't very difficult with these kind of films as long as you can secure the locations to film them at. There's kind of the sets, they're there. There's very little work you have to do to these things.
I think you're simplifying it a little bit, but I'll give you like if you're shooting in a castle and it's already furnished, you're doing really good. I'll go with you with that.
I'm not saying you don't have to do anything. I'm just saying you don't have to do a lot.
From a directorial standpoint, the film is very well paced. It's definitely slow paced.
Oh yeah,
but for a reason.
Yeah, you know what they did that I don't know why they did it, but I didn't really mind it that much. I don't understand what was with the fisheye lens.
To show like depth and length. It's like first of all, just to show that they're like at some certain points. I mean,
it just came off a little weird to me.
There are aspects of where they're trying to show the surrealism of living in such a weird, like bubble, like that is like royalty.
I guess so.
Or I mean,
here's a shot of the fisheye right now. It's actually on the screen.
Now I know like some of the fisheyes they do when like they're walking down the long corridors, and then you have like the scenes like I thought was great was when he filmed the slow motion sequences of like the fancy lads like doing weird games like racing ducks or throwing tomatoes at a naked guy.
Yeah,
and the parties just it's like it was like that we kind of like I love the slow motion because it shows like this is not the real world. You know, this is this weird, surreal, just playground that the elites have built for them. I would kind of compare it. I would actually kind of compare it to Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I definitely
some of the,
with the power, struggle and all that. Sure.
And obviously like showing the horrific ugliness of them. Like the slow motion really it gives you that chance to look at how ugly these people are in their pretty masks and. Well, yeah, it's very nice.
Well, I had no issues with any of that, and I didn't have an issue with the fisheye. I just didn't really understand why they went that way, even after your explanation. I don't know if I'm 100% on board with it, but it's not enough for me to take away from the movie in any way.
No, it's like when I complain every time they do that thing where someone walks into the camera and it goes upside down.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, oh, great, you were able to afford that rig. I don't give a fuck. It has no point on this film. It's a pointless fucking shot. Why is this here? You're like, oh, I'm spending the money on this. I'm going to use it.
You know what I'm thinking? Maybe if I had to challenge you, it might be Cheech and Chong's Corsican Brothers. I might have to go that route just for the fun.
The only thing I remember from that film at all is just the trisexual line.
Oh.
He's a trisexual. He tries anything, chickens, pigs, mud.
And my little poofta. Where is my little poofta?
That's all I remember of that fucking movie.
I used to see movie was on constantly on Cinemax. Oh my God! It was just one of those films that they would play over and over and over.
I'm more of a Zero the Gay Blade guy.
Well, I am too, but I can't tell you how many times I've seen Corsican Brothers. Holy shit! Just
now. This film is a departure for the director because, again, the Lobster and the Sacred Deer films are very, I would say, disorientating for an average audience.
Right.
And this film plays it kind of straight until the last scene.
Which is, wow.
Yeah.
It's like, and that's the scene where I'm like, yeah, that's the chick from Threads because she looks all fucked up. Just like the chick from Threads does at the end of that movie. And I'm like, whoa. Or near the end of that movie. The end of that movie's fucking way worse than the end of this movie.
what really, I mean, I'm just going to go back to best screenplay real quick. Because
Sure.
like I said, I'm not overly wowed by the selection this year. But the only other film we've reviewed so far against this one is Vice.
Which we'll be reviewing next episode.
Correct. Because we paired those two together because I felt they both were based on a true story and about the insanity of governmental rule.
Absolutely.
And both British and American.
No, it was excellent pairing.
Yeah, I think so too. I think we always end up with two last ones. We're like, yeah, they have nothing in common. It's very hard to get them all to pair up.
And here's the thing too. I initially said Green Book and A Star Is Born. And had we done that, well, just because they both involve music, one a little more heavily than the other, but they both do have music influences. Had we done that, we would have ended up with The Favorite and Roma, or The Favorite and Vice, and it just wouldn't have worked as our last two movies to review. So I changed.
We're doing The Favorite and Vice.
No. I'm talking about The Favorite and Roma, or The Vice and Roma would be next week.
Okay, yeah, I got you.
Yeah. So I changed it at the last second because Bohemian Rhapsody worked way better than A Star Is Born, but I didn't know if Bohemian Rhapsody would not be nominated for Best Picture, and luckily it was, so the pairing works really well. So
yeah. I really think this is a strong contender for Best Screenplay, Original Screenplay, because it's based on historical fact, but also because it conveys a lot without telling you straight outward what's happening.
Right.
I wouldn't say it's overly overly clever. I mean, it's not like it's, like you said, it's not a hard plot to describe.
No, it's doesn't have too many moving parts. It really doesn't.
No, and I think the actresses bring a lot, and I think it's why they all got nominated, because this is a kind of a screenplay where if you don't have an actress that's going to convey that moment, convey the emotions that are inherent in the. I mean, the dialogue is just words.
I'm looking at all.
Got to be able to What?
No, I would go ahead. I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
No. But I mean, I think all the actresses convey. They communicate what the screenplay insinuates.
Yeah, especially
extremely well.
Especially even when there isn't any dialogue, you still get what they're trying to get across the screen to the viewer. But I'm looking at all the nominees, and for the first time in a long time, I don't think I'm going to do well this year. I think I'm going to do very poorly this year. I don't think because normally I'm like, yep, this is a lock, that's a lock, this is a lock, this is that. Yeah, this year, about the only thing I'm positive of is Olivia Colman winning Best Actress. I'm not even so sure that Christian Bale, which we'll talk about in the next episode, gets Best Actor, even though I loved his performance. I don't know. I just don't know. Not that I'm giving anything to Rami Malek or any of the other nominees. I just don't know. There's just something that is so up in the air about a lot of these nominees this year that I'm not having an easy time making my guesses. Normally for me it's pretty easy. It's like, 24 nominees, I got like 20 of them right.
Yeah.
This year I think I'm going to do very bad.
So this year's anybody's game.
I think so.
All right.
I think so. So.
I mean, there's not much else to say about the film that we haven't talked about so far.
No. And we're trying to keep these episodes under 45 minutes.
Well, I mean, it's a great film. It's very stylized, but at the same time, it's very straightforward. It's not inaccessible to your average audience as long as you're okay with long. The film does this thing where like he occasionally has these long shots of like maybe up to a minute, maybe even more, of just a character, a person's face.
Yeah, he did that.
There's a couple of specific scenes where he does that, and
the end is one of them.
The end also when the Queen is during the dance.
Oh right.
Queen Anne has a close up on Queen Anne's face. It cuts back to the dance every now and but there's still long lingering shots, and there's also some shots of like long shots of like walking down hallways, or just people. The film's not afraid to stop and make you drink in like the solitude of this cavernous mansion that these people are navigating. And even like I also like the fact that like there'll be scenes like where Queen Anne's like wandering through a hall or something, and even though this place is huge and empty, like there's just randomly there'll just be like somebody standing there.
Oh right, yeah, and then she'll yell at them.
So like even in this place that's like huge empty hallways and stuff, you're never really alone, and that was like a very interesting aspect of the filmmaking of this, where they always make sure that, like, except for like scenes where you're in private chambers, you're in this huge place, but there's always somebody that's not even lurking, just there.
Yeah.
Even
in private chambers, there was a scene that specifically, like the point you're trying to get across, specifically, you're not alone. Mm-hmm. They even conveyed it there. And I want to mention again that even though it took me 3 times to watch this movie, I did enjoy it very much. The first time that I watched it was with my wife. I got about halfway through before I fell asleep. I woke up during the end, which it's like, what the fuck happened? I'm watching this thing, fall asleep, and I wake up to the end. I'm like, what is going on?
Tell me about the rabbits. Let me ask you.
Yes.
What do you think the odds are that this gets Best Picture?
Oh.
Just this film itself. I know we've only reviewed half of the Oscar films at this point. This is actually the one that takes us over half, 50%.
Yeah.
But right now,
let's see.
As it stands,
just
based on the quality of the film. Don't even let's not talk politics or anything.
No.
What do you think the odds are that this actually wins Best Picture?
Honestly, I'm thinking that this film, top 3, there's only 2 other movies that could potentially beat it. So I think the chances of this are very high. Higher than just about anything, almost anything else. So I think odds for Best Picture, you're looking at Green Book, you're looking at A Star is Born, and I think you're looking at this. And
I think I agree with you.
I think those are the 3. And
we haven't even watched Green Book yet. We haven't even reviewed Green Book yet. That's just based on...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Green Book is just everywhere. The odds and the hype are saying all over the place that Green Book is winning Best Picture. But I think it's Green Book's only competition, if we took that at its word, is going to be The Favorite and A Star is Born. So I think, based on voting, based on let's say someone's mood, this has a very fair shot at winning Best Picture. If they say, you know what, I'm not feeling Green Book when I do my vote. I'm not feeling A Star is Born. I don't think anything else is even coming close to those 3 movies. I just don't.
I'm with you.
So I think if the Favorite is very high up there. I think it could absolutely walk away with it.
And also, don't forget, it's all white people, so that's good too. White gold.
White gold. You ain't getting whiter than a British piece.
If this is your first episode that you listen to of our show, that's a joke.
It's a joke. Yes, it is. It's a joke because the Oscars are a joke.
Oh yeah, no, fuck the Oscars. I keep telling people at work about that. It's like, no. I don't like the Oscars. We just do the Oscars. There's a difference.
There is a big difference. So I think it's got a really good shot, to be completely honest.
I agree.
I really think there's only 2 other movies that are any real competition to this.
I don't think there's anything. I don't think I have any major criticisms of this film.
No, me neither. I mean, I was talking about the fisheye lens, but I'm not criticizing it. I just didn't really understand why they chose to do it. I'm sure when I get a 1080p, like a perfect 1080p copy, it's just going to look really great instead of how I ended up watching it. But it currently sits on IMDb at 7.9. And I am completely okay with giving this a solid 8.
I'm getting soft in my old age. I can't argue with that. I think an 8's a good number for this.
Were you thinking a 7 instead?
No, I wasn't.
Okay. Because I don't know. I can't, under good conscience, give it a 9. I think that's reserved for movies much better than this. And this
is already
this is
marked
good.
8.
Okay, good. So, good. All right, so let's go ahead and let's end this.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Episode 294. I'm sorry. Yeah, 294.
Yeah, no,
yep, I was right. 294 of Moviesucktastic. Thank you for joining us yet again. Please go to our website at Moviesucktastic.com. Download the show. Listen to the show there. Or tune in live every Thursday at 8 o'clock and hang out with us while we review a movie. You'll enjoy yourself. Promise. You can go to iTunes and you can download or listen to the show there as well. You can go to our Facebook page at facebook.com/Moviesucktastic. Everything we post from when we go live to movie trailers or anything that fancies us goes on there. You can also leave us an email. The address is themovieguys@Moviesucktastic.com. If you want to leave us voicemail, the number is 908-514-4470. If you leave us voicemail, we'll play that. If you leave us email, we'll read it. You can go to our Tumblr page, and that's moviesucktastic.tumblr.com. And you can download the Android app, which we just recently fixed. So please go ahead and download that. It is worth your time. Everything I said is in there. It's the way I listen to our show. I just hook it up to my car through Bluetooth, and that's it. You hit play. It's awesome. All right. So do you have any words of wisdom, Mr. Wilson?
I like it when she puts her tongue in me.
I was so hoping that was going to be your words of wisdom.
How could it not be?
I know, right? All right, everybody. We'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.
Two pips.
Yeah.